There is generally no accepted definition of the term indigenous people in a global context. Different people refer to the term in different ways. Some may refer to the term as people who are there first at contact, while others may refer to them as the first group of people that occupied the territory. So when it comes to these terms, what's the best terminology? How exactly do we define the term indigenous people? Who exactly are indigenous people? In this video, we look at the indigenous community in Malaysia, specifically focusing on the Kadazan community. The indigenous people of Malaysia are some of the oldest inhabitants of the land. Their historically rich, mysterious lifestyles and cultures have been the subject of fascination to many people. In Malaysia, the indigenous community is mainly divided by the Orang Asli, who are native to Peninsular Malaysia, and the other native tribes that live in Sabah and Sarawak. In this video, we're going to be looking at the largest ethnic group in the state of Sabah, known as the Kadazan. The Kadazans are an ethnic group indigenous to the state of Sabah in Malaysia. They are found mainly in Penampang on the west coast of Sabah surrounding the locales. This group later came to be known as the KadazanDusun due to their similarities in culture and language with the Dusun ethnic group. These two groups together form the largest ethnic group in Sabah, known as the KadazanDusun. The KadazanDusun were traditionally animists, but have been influenced both by Christianity and Islam. The majority of them are Christians, mainly in Roman Catholics, and some Protestants, whilst a minority group practices Islam. The Kadazan belief system centers around the spirit or entity called the Kinderohingya. It revolved around the belief that spirits rule over the planting and harvesting of rice, a profession that has been practiced for generations. Spiritual rituals would be performed before and after each harvest by a tribal priestess known as the Bobohizan. The interesting thing about them is that those holding to traditional religion today still believe in a spirit world that is especially important in the cycle of rice cultivation, as well as major events in the cycle of life. Traditional Kadazan cuisine involves mostly boiling or grilling, which employs little use of oil, and with locally unique modifications and nuances, as well as usage of locally available ingredients, namely bamboo shoots, sago, and freshwater fish. Henava is probably the most well-known traditional dish in Sabah. Popularized by the KadazanDusun community, Henava is made of fresh raw tenggiri, which is filleted and thinly sliced, mixed with sliced chili, ginger, diced red onions, grated bambangan seeds, salt, and set with a few squirts of lime juice. Pinsakan Sada, otherwise simply known as Pinsakan, is a traditional KadazanDusun dish of braised basoon fish mixed with takob akob, a tangy wild fruit mainly harvested for its skin, fresh turmeric salt, and slices of bambangan. The KadazanDusun community is the largest indigenous group in Sabah. They make up for 24% of the population in Sabah as of 2010. However, the KadazanDusun are not only just a single group of indigenous people, they are made up of more than 20 different sub-ethnic groups within. Central Dusun, Coastal Kadazan, Bundu Dusun, Rungus Dusun are examples of the different kinds of sub-ethnic groups that are still known as the Kadazan people. The Kadazan people are primarily working in agricultural sectors such as farming, rice growing, vegetable planting, and gardening. Many have also found jobs in the timber industry that has boomed since decades ago. Therefore, it's important for us to know about the indigenous people because they hold their own diverse concepts of development based on traditional values, visions, needs, and priorities. They have a special relation to and use of their traditional land. They have historical and cultural ties with the land in which they live. They maintain traditions that have been followed for generations, and it is important to protect the rights of the indigenous people. It is important to have some knowledge about them as their very existence provides foundation for their beliefs and traditional practices. Even though most of the traditions are slowly fading away in the modern era, such as the dying language of the KadazanDusun in the younger generation, it is important to withhold some of these traditions, as they are traditions that's been followed for generations and holds ethical value of the ancestral land.